Hey guys, Jake Blow here, the Habitat Pro. It is switchgrass buy-in season, and this is a video you will not want to miss if you are planting a large chunk of switch on your property. Doesn't matter what kind, doesn't matter what mix, doesn't matter if you're going to put diversity pockets in it or try to. This is one of those videos, guys, you do not want to miss before you go pouring a bunch of money into switch. I used to recommend the heck out of switchgrass. I used to think it could be bedding. I'm going to show you today that, especially on small properties, you may want to reconsider your design. And I'm going to show you that with proof of deer tracks in the snow, going to food, doing what they do every day. And that's a change in my recommendation from long ago, but that's what we do here on the channel. We bring you on client properties and show you the truth. If you appreciate that, like and subscribe. Here we go. All right, so there's a heavy trail coming off the food plot right there, going straight down the elevation. I've got hinge cut bedding at the base of that slope. It's about a 15-foot drop. And then right here, the first year I was here back in 2018, I took down all aspen in there. You can see the hinge cuts in the slope. So that one faces east. And then over here, that slope faces south. So I'm sure it's the same doe family, but here I go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the loop, the power loop around this switch. I just want you to keep track of how many sets of tracks go into the switch. That's a little one, probably my kitty. Okay, we're looking for deer tracks that go into the switch. Alfalfa there. I still haven't seen anything going into the switch. This is more Roundup Ready alfalfa down here. Okay, so this is another southern exposure. Still don't see any tracks going into the switch. There's a kitty right there. Not even in the trail through the switch. This is Roundup Ready alfalfa bordering the switch, plus my custom fall blend right next to the switch. Still zero tracks going into the switch. All right, so there's the switch we just drove around. You saw zero tracks going in or out of it. Okay, none. Every hunting season that's been up, that's going on 4 years. I have never seen a deer go in or out of it, ever. Currently trying to kind of fix it a little bit with tree and shrub seed and whatnot, but it's so thick in there, I'm gonna have to kill some of it. It's just what's gonna have to happen. So pretty much zero use. Okay, I would not do that again. That's pure switchgrass, cave and rock, 7 feet tall. Doesn't matter what kind it is. It's switchgrass in Minnesota, and it's just not the thing. They're all down in there. All down in there. That's a circular swamp, so they have stuff on every side, hinge cut, and that's where all these trails go. You can see them right there. Just go right into the hinge cuts. Totally ignore a bunch of what, you know, especially the switchgrass farmers tell you is magical deer habitat, but you know, it's just not. It's not magical deer habitat at all. What's it good for? Right there. That's what it's good for. So look at this. We're on the south side of this band of switch right now. Every sunny day, They just bugger right up next to this switchgrass and bake right against it. This hasn't had snow on it all year. Every single sunny day, they are right here, laying down, facing this way. And that's why it's so big to have bands of cover out there that give them some southern exposure when you're at northern latitudes. You don't even have to overthink it. If you're just wondering what to do, just run some lines of dark colored cover, switchgrass, evergreens, whatever. Just run them east-west so that deer get a southern exposure on it, and they'll be all over it. You can see right here I've got a scattered planting. That's not a screening planting. That's just more of a scattered one for bedding, because they love that ridge up there. I've showed you that one in another video. We had a blow down oak up there, so they've actually been bedding up there underneath that, and then some hinge cuts. But that one just gave up the ghost. I'd actually saved that because it was my best canopy. But what we're also going to do now is I'm going to have a burn break here on the left side of this switch, and then I'm going to have another evergreen screening line about 20 feet away or so. You know, skinny bands of it. You can see right there, that's about 10 yards wide. They definitely use the edge of it. It definitely causes pinches. You know, I've got that whole band that you just saw the other side of right there. That cuts down a little bit of winter. There's evergreens going to be on both sides of that up there. And then I've got screening along this edge as well. And then evergreens on the back side of that. But again, just a thin band of it. Not doing anything more than nudging movement, because they cut right through it in some spots where it's real light. But like I say, if you devote a huge batch to it, like, that sucks, because right there I could have had, back in 2019 when I planted it, I could have planted, you know, what, an acre and a half over there, 2 acres maybe. I could have planted 150 trees, evergreens, in a scattered planting with like a 2-pound rate of switch, and it would be dynamite right now. You know, they'd already be pushing stomach high, and yeah, so it's it ain't the ticket by itself. So don't get duped into thinking there's some magical mix of switch. There's some, okay, I gotta have a tall kind and a short kind. It's just not the ticket. All right, guys, so the main point of that is not that switchgrass by itself is bad. It's that you need to make sure that you expect out of switchgrass what it can give you. It cannot by itself give you bedding for deer. It cannot turn a black dirt field, a retired pasture by itself, into deer habitat. It is not deer habitat. It is screening. It is screening, but so is buckthorn. so is evergreens, right? So it's a tool. Use it and expect from it what the tool can give you. Okay, I'm not going to use a hammer to drive in a screw. Okay, switchgrass has a place, a very small place in my recommendations on property designs, but it's not one that I'm going to be using in large scale, huge plantings at all. It's just not going to be that. It's got to have a ton of diversity in it, and I'm not talking about pockets. We'll do another video on diversity pockets and how difficult they are, how almost impossible they are to get past today's deer population if you're trying to put the desirable stuff that deer actually enjoy in it in a place that already has deer population, because that is another thing that is pushed by the habitat community, that you can try your butt off, but it's in practice very difficult to get past your deer. So like and subscribe if this is of any help to you guys. We really appreciate the support. We bring you truth here on the channel from client properties or our own, only from our experience, and you can do with it whatever you wish. We really appreciate the share, the like, the subscribe. That pays us back for everything we do here to to put these together for you so that you don't waste money in habitat. You don't spin your wheels in habitat. We just show you the truth, and hopefully it helps you out on your property. This is Jake Will, the Habitat Pro. We're in northern Minnesota. Get out and enjoy creation, guys. Good luck this season, and God bless.